Your battery is away.
We'll call it September 8th, Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. We do have everyone here, so we'll move right into the business. The minutes from the August 25th meeting. Any comments or questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
I'd make a motion to approve the August 25th, 2025 minutes as presented.
And second.
Motion a second. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. All right, next up is the approval of consent agenda. Just a couple items on there. Any questions? If not, I would make a motion to approve.
I'd second.
Motion a second. Any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed. Okay, motion carries. We have nothing from petitions and comments by citizens, no reports of committees, boards, and commissions. Nothing on unfinished business. We'll move right into new business. First up is Commonwealth 2026 water main replacement proposal. Brian is here with Commonwealth. And Brian Van Voorst is with us online. And so Ryan, I'll turn it over to you and let you walk us through.
Yeah, so this proposal is a project we call 2026 water main replacement. It's kind of evolved out of the past preliminary engineering report we did in early 2024. But it's a SRF. Didn't receive the best scoring and ranking for various reasons. Remained on that list to this spring. Then since that time, we've kind of looked at other ways we might fund the project other than SRF. Kind of settled on an open market as the most likely solution on that, with consultation with the city's financial consultant, Baker Tilly. So with that, this proposal is kind of tweaked from what an SRF design would include. We have gone back and forth since the PER. We've gone back and forth with Brian Van Voorst on what water mains are in the project. We've added a couple areas just to make sure, since we're doing a big project, we want to make sure we're hitting the areas that are most in need of replacement. This still would include live galvanized service line replacements per SRF requirements, which is a little scaled back from the previous water project, if you recall that one. I'll just touch on this because it is relevant. That at that time, SRF's rule was basically if you do any part of a water service, you have to replace the whole thing to the house. Now it's essentially as much as is confirmed to be lead or galvanized. So there may be many that we're not doing the full service line replacement. So it's a little more reasonable in that regard than it used to be. On the front page, I also list the just total lengths of each of the areas, which ones were added, which items were taken away since the PER. But not much of note there. The second page shows the kind of the figure of where those projects are. So they're kind of all scattered throughout the older areas of town, as you imagine. A lot of these being existing 4-inch water mains that are both getting replaced and upsized. And then this design. So just going through the different tasks that are in here. So field work and survey. That's an hourly contract. Soils and geotech for soil borings and a geotech report. Preliminary and final design. Permitting, which would cover IDEM permit and construction stormwater general permit. Those are the main two needed for this project. Easement assistance, which is to cover, any either rights of entry or temporary easements for those service lines where we're doing work on private property. That's just hourly because it's purely estimation at this point. We don't know how many are going to actually require easements. Bidding, also hourly, but this one's a little different than our typical project. In discussions with the city ahead of time, there was interest in looking at alternative delivery methods. And so this is kind of structured to go that route. It's alternative delivery methods could be guaranteed max contracts or build, operate, transfer. The intent is for us to present to the city some options, some benefits of different options that we can go forward with whatever city selects. That also changes, impacts the schedule, which is on the last page of the write-up portion. That bidding process would take place during design, prior to final design. So we have that November to December, or December to January of the end of this year, prior to final design. So the intent is that contractor who would be selected would have involvement in final design, not doing design, but offering some cost, value changes, looking at what the total scope is, attempt to stay within the budgets available. And then financial and legal assistance is the only other task item. We've got the whole schedule kind of laid out, or at least the high points. The intent is for construction next year. And then the full compensation amounts as well. Attached is the hourly breakdown of all the individuals and different levels intended to be on the project, and expenses and all that. So I think that's everything. Do you have any questions?
Ryan and Brian, you can chime in here. I know we talked about the whole lead line service, verifying what is there at the line. Is part of that included in this project, or is that a separate contract?
No, that likely what you're thinking about is tied more towards a lead service line only replacement project. This project, there would be some field work involved on identifying the service lines along these routes, but it's not going to be too extensive because a lot of these, blocks maybe only have a few services on them rather than, catching 100 or 200. So it doesn't include anything that would be, I think maybe the last time we talked, that the amount of unknowns was somewhere around 500, give or take.
Right.
The number is decreasing because of Brian's work, but so this wouldn't really target that, but of course it would pick up it relates to on these streets. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And Brian, does that correspond to your recollection of that?
Yes, Mayor. We are going to probably do discovery on the service line, every service line in this project ahead of the start of construction on our own. And the service line money that we have remaining after John Street is what we're going to use to identify the remainder of our service lines. And I know that Ryan and Andrew were both checking into some different organizations or some companies that could do that for us. What you see before you, that map there, Mayor and Board, all those water mains you see are over 100 years old. They've well exceeded their purposeful life and expectancy of 50 years. So we've had several leaks on Centennial Street, a couple on John, some on Clark Street, and then the additional lines I added on South Knapp and East Street are all fed off of a very small 2-inch line it's ready for upgrade. And in addition to that, along Centennial Street, we'll be able to provide better fire protection in that area because we'll have a main sized accordingly to do so.
Yeah. No, Brian, I appreciate your work on that. Ryan, thanks for doing that. I know on John Street we had some lead line services we thought we were going to do. They were less than what we thought. So I think Brian has worked diligently to try to identify all those unknown services so we can have an accurate inventory. So I know that's kind of a sidetrack from what we're talking about, but all kind of included in this. This is just our next step in keeping our utilities up to date. Any questions you guys have? Okay. If not, do we have a motion?
I'd make a motion to accept the proposal from Commonwealth in regards to the 2026 water main replacement as presented.
I'd second.
Motion and second. Any further questions? Okay. If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you.
If I could just add, we will provide the task order within the next day. It's just circulating internally to Commonwealth for signatures. So we'll get that to you. And then second, just thank you. We're thrilled to continue work on the city.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. All right. Next item, request to waive penalties. Jeff, I don't know if you want to take this. I see it's from Taylor.
Yeah. What you're seeing, the customer here has been habitually late, and this is, I don't know a ton about this one, but it is one of those where they've dealt with the new management ever since they took over this property, and this is the first time they've called in. And so the recommendation is, because they've been habitually late, is to not waive the fees.
Based on the review of staff, I would recommend that we do not waive the penalties in this situation.
I'd second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right. Thank you, Jeff. All right, next up, we have approval of plans and specifications for the Elder House renovation and authorized invitation for bids. Just a brief background on this project. We had some neighborhood stabilization program money left over from HUD that was not being used. I think the last house sat on the market for 3 years before doing that, or before selling that home. Some of it had to do with requirements, income limits on the purchaser of the home, and ability of financing. So we knew that going forward with another house renovation was not really an option for us. And one of the things that we could potentially use this money for is to assist with renovations at the Elder House. We contacted HUD and MACOG, who's our local Michigan Area Council of Governments, as a grant administrator. Talked with HUD and OKRA. We can transfer the money from HUD, which is a federal organization, to the state organization, OKRA, and shift those funds for use for the Elder House. As part of that, we were looking at some renovations to the Elder House. We have approximately $300,000 in that grant available to us. So this would be for interior renovations. If you can stop on that E3 1.0. Basically, that is the first floor of the old central school. There were originally 4 classrooms. The offices are located in the upper left-hand corner. Those would be renovated. The area on the northeast, the upper right corner, that is the day room. That was recently renovated as we had some flooding in that area from a frozen pipe. That area has been renovated. But then to the south, to the bottom of the sheet, to the right is their dining room. They don't have an adequate facility to warm up food and to serve lunches like they do at the Elder House. So that would be a new kitchen and interior finishes in that room. And then the area, which is what is currently their living room, become the craft room and exercise room. And that would be, again, primarily interior renovations. And so what we're wanting to do is get this out, these drawings and these specifications out to contractors to receive bids back and have a contractor on board by October 10th. Is that the deadline we're working with OKRA?
The due date's September 29th.
Bid date is September 29th, but we have to have an award by October, I think it's October 10th. And so this will be, if you guys approve this, this will be published in the paper this week and next week. And then we will have bids received on September 29th, which would be a special meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that is a quick rundown. Any questions you guys have on this project?
No,
Okay. If not, do we have a motion to approve the planned and specs and authorize invitation for bids?
I'd make a motion to approve the plans and specs for the older house renovation for the authorizing the invitation for bids.
I would second.
Thank you. Again, any questions? Todd, anything I missed? Anything you want to add?
You covered it pretty well.
All right. If there are no further questions, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We are to approval of accounts payable vouchers.
I'd make a motion to approve the 2025 water APVs totaling $195,815.69, as well as the 2025 wastewater treatment plan APVs totaling $92,805.62.
I would second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on the APVs? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Okay. Reports of city officers. Sean.
Yeah, Senator. I'd like to ask the board for approval to send Aaron Hostetler to TDI truck driving school to obtain a CDL license. It's a 3-week course at a cost of $7,000. He can begin Monday. It's coming Monday.
Any questions?
I've got a question in regards to that, Sean. Do we have some type of agreement with Aaron as far as length of employment after he passes his CDL?
It's a 5-year commitment
Okay.
that he has to pay back. You know, it's a tiered
Yeah. I
payback.
understand. Okay.
Good question. Any others? If not, I will make a motion to approve the request.
I'd second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right. Dime.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. Just like the board's approval on the resignation of Adam Brankoff. Adam was in the process of purchasing a home in Mappany. He works in Argus and was living in Mappany. He unfortunately bought a house in Milford, so he would be very limited on the amount of calls that he would make. So he submitted his resignation. While he was on the department, he was a very good asset to us, and we're going to miss him. I think he could have brought a lot of potential to the department.
Any questions? Not, do we have a motion?
Reluctantly, I'll make a motion to approve the resignation of Adam Brinkoff with my recommendation of thanking him for his years of service and so forth.
I would second that. All right, any other questions, comments? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Okay. Did I forget anybody? Forget anything? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned. Thank you.